Off-grid living gets romanticized a lot. People think it's cheap, simple, and disconnected from the world. But what if I told you that isn't actually true? We've lived off-grid for a while now, and let me tell you, the reality is a lot different than we expected. So today, we're debunking 9 common myths about off-grid living. The stuff that people don't usually show you and what you need to know before actually diving in. Make sure you stay till the end for the one point that everybody needs to know.
I think a lot of people think one of two things: that you need a lot of money to go off grid, or that they're going to go off grid with little to no money. And basically, neither of those are true or right. You can go off grid and save money and spend a lot less money than you do in a regular life. However, it is going to be directly related to how much you're willing to suffer or sacrifice. If you have more money, you can sacrifice less things. So obviously, if you have more money, you're going to be able to do a lot more things. You're going to be able to hire people and do things faster. And you can live a more luxurious life if you have the more money you have. You could buy a cheap piece of land and sleep in a tent and have very basic amenities. The truth is somewhere in the middle. For most people, you will have to sacrifice some things, and I think the longer that you live off grid, the more you get to have the time and money to make things more comfortable for you. Most people aren't going to have those comforts right at the beginning. It took us a good, I would say, 2.5 to 3 years to be really comfortable. And I think we still have room to grow on that. And I think it'll take 5 years until we are where we feel our most comfortable. Yeah, it's in the right spot.
Hey,
A spatula.
Confident that whenever you get...
Ew, I drilled a hole in the wire. What? We have had these lights wired under the drywall since we got it drywalled.
3 years ago?
3 years, and
maybe longer.
It is so dark in here. We used to have a string light in here as our light, which was actually very annoying, and we moved those to the greenhouse and then never, planned on.
It's just so they were so annoying.
They were annoying. You hit your head on them, and they looked silly. But I just felt inspired to try to wire these lights today so that we could stop living in darkness in this kitchen.
Living off-grid has taught us one thing: the plan is really just a suggestion. What should take an afternoon can stretch into days or weeks. And sometimes, like these lights, a project sits on the back burner because something else suddenly becomes more urgent. Weather changes, tools break, animals need attention, and the list keeps growing. When you're off-grid, flexibility isn't an option, it's a survival skill.
This little switch over here has been just a little mock plate, and I've now wired it. We're gonna see if this one light turns on. Let's see. I don't even know.
Oh my gosh!
It's on. It's not very bright. Can you reach that and dim it?
Okay, hold on.
Because it's a dimmer. Nice. Yay. Here we go. Woo-hoo.
The to-do list still exists. If you've been around since the creation of the to-do list, we haven't forgotten about it, and we're about to mark 2 things off. We're about to go work on the truck, but I need to say. One of the common misconceptions about living off grid is that life is easy and breezy and you feel free all the time and you're not suffering the problems that the regular person that lives on the grid is suffering. But this truck is a perfect example. We still have car problems and house maintenance problems and all those things. And a lot of times when you live out where we do, it's up to you to fix it. We'd have to pay a lot of money to have this car towed to a mechanic. So we do our best to try to fix things. And so you have to learn a lot.
And now that our reliable car is not drivable right now, we more than ever need to get this truck working. But we don't even know if we can make it work. We're gonna try to do some stuff right now and see what we can do.
And we do have the van.
Yes, we are driving the van around.
We have the camper van, but I wouldn't say that either the camper van or the truck right now are what you want your daily driver to be.
No, the van is huge. So
yes.
In terms of gas, it's not great on gas, but it does run and it's mostly okay. It's just such a huge vehicle.
But it only has a little bit over 100,000 miles on it.
Yes, so we love Birdie, that's the name of the van, but definitely don't want to be driving it every day. So I think if we could get the truck working, that just would relieve a little bit of the car problems that are happening right now. There's a wasp nest in our rear view mirror. Thing is, I have connected it in a million ways. I've connected it on that little screw. I've connected it here where it touched that thing, and then this, but nothing beeps. As always, nothing is going according to plan. We're gonna try to jump the car because we can't do anything if it won't turn on. Car's gonna be good for something yet.
No.
These are nice.
Yeah.
And the keys are in the truck.
Yeah.
So close. It's gonna start. It's gonna start. It's just. Were you about to use that for something else?
No, I know.
All right, it does feel tighter, but yeah, what does that mean?
I lost the thing. Okay.
Yeah. It's not working.
I didn't know.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we're going to be able to fix this. One unfortunate thing about the Stow Shack is that it's actually still not closed in on the back. There's this huge gap underneath the roof that we never closed up. And we do obviously plan on doing that, but the Stow Shack is just basically a wasp haven. So you open the door and there's just like wasps coming at you. So fortunately you have to try to get rid of them. Careful, Hazel June. There's a dog. One thing that no one tells you about off-grid living is how much the weather runs your life. We've basically been in survival mode since the heat dome has been around, and it has finally broken. So now we're getting back to our routines, back to working outside and doing projects, and trying to find our momentum again. When we're busy working outside, meals don't always happen the way we planned, which is why we like to keep chomps on hand. It's a perfect snack and my go-to when it comes to wanting something quick, filling, and actually satisfying. Each stick has 10 grams of high-quality protein and 0 grams of sugar, which is hard to find in a grab-and-go snack. Plus, they're made with grass-fed and grass-finished beef and don't contain any weird ingredients. You can toss it in a lunchbox for school, keep a few in your car while you're running errands, or stash one in your work bag for a quick fuel up. It's gluten-free, free of the top 9 allergens, and super easy to grab when things get chaotic. If you want to stock up, now's the time because you can get 15% off with our code WANDERER15 at chomps.com. Plus, you'll get free shipping. That offer is only good for 72 hours, so jump on it while you can. Has bird poop on it.
Nature is trying to reclaim its space.
Clearly, has been birds in the...
No. There were...
Still trying to work on sorting the rest of this. This grasshopper is trying to get packed in the fabric box. Assuming this orange thing we will give away. We almost have a cleaned out sew shag.
No. Not almost. There's a whole other... It's bad.
Oh, it's way... You couldn't even open the door, though.
It's not almost cleaned out.
It is. It's 2/3 of 3/3. Over half.
Made a lot of progress today. You can see the floor. I mean, it needs to be mopped. Guys, don't. It's not. It was terrible. Did you show it before?
Not really, because you couldn't get in there. There,
Yeah.
you just couldn't open.
You couldn't really open the door very far. There was a broken freezer in there, and drawers for a dresser that we hope to go in our bathroom one day. So that's going back to storage. I don't know what got in here. Don't ask me. Okay. There's a lot of things, but
They're all finding homes.
they're all finding homes. I would like to tell you what needs to happen in here. Let's come in. These windows we used in the greenhouse. They were like the perfect size. And so we're ordering brand new windows that will go there. And so they just have this little plastic over them. And this wall to here on this hand is insulated and plywooded. And this back wall and this wall, well, and this little front wall here, all need to be insulated and covered with some sort of covering. We'll probably do plywood.
That's the part I was talking about that's not closed in.
Yes.
And we're probably going to replace all this clear stuff with something solid. So all you'll see through here are windows in the end, just to insulate a little better.
You know, we're not going to be like living in here, but we do hope to use it to sew. And we have this little tiny fireplace that one day we hope to install. We also want to put like...
It's a bald-faced hornet.
Yeah. We also want to put an AC in here, like a window unit, because that Blue Eddy power station is what's going to power this situation.
This is where our laundry is, and we haven't been able to get in here, so we haven't even used it because we can't get it all set up if we couldn't get in here. So now I think this is going to be our next step, is to get the laundry running again, because we've been going into town to do laundry. So hopefully the next time we work on this, not today, we will get that going.
And we have a clothesline right here, which is why in the last video I cleared all of this out. We're going to take that to the dump and move this stuff as well.
Yeah, you just come like right out here after doing your, right after you're doing your wash, you can hang it up. And since it's summer, we will just likely hang dry everything, which is what we mostly have done. We only use the dryer for like socks
and underwear.
And then in the winter, sometimes it's just, you're like, I'm not gonna do all that.
Obviously, so there's like a lot of stuff on the outside that needs to be done.
Yeah.
We've learned a lot when we built this building.
Yes.
We learned a lot. So it's not perfect.
It's kind of like our test building.
Yes. But it's going to be great for what we need it for. And I'm very excited now that it's like cleared out and I can walk in there. I'm like, yes, let's go.
A lot of people imagine off-grid living as this perfectly minimal, clutter-free lifestyle, like it automatically pairs with becoming a minimalist. In our experience, living off-grid actually requires a lot of tools and equipment, especially if you are also trying to homestead. If you are also trying to reduce your waste and reuse items, you're holding on to every scrap of wood and glass jar. You also want backups for a lot of your tools and systems. And if you are into hobbies on top of all of that, you'll probably have a big storage problem on your hands.
One of my grandmas requested that I make her an apron, like the one that we have, which is this one, for her birthday. And she didn't request a certain color. So I picked out 2 fabrics, and this is it. It is this gingham on one side, and then it's reversible. So on the other side you could flip it over, and it's this floral fabric. And it's the crossback apron kind. It's got 2 pockets on the front, 2 pockets on the back. I just made a pattern out of the one that I have, and I had been wanting actually to experiment with a double-sided one, so this was a perfect time to do that. So I'm going to package this guy up and ship it out.
I think a lot of people think when they hear the term off-grid that you're a fugitive running from the law and you're living on some abandoned land in a tent with nothing, and that you're totally cut off from society. And while that term is definitely used in that way, and I think generally people use the term off the grid, but that's semantics. All that to say, most of us who live off-grid mean that we are not connected to public utilities. We still get mail and have an address and have gas, internet. So I think if you're interested in living off-grid, know that you don't have to do it in some extremist way.
Living off-grid doesn't mean that you can't have modern luxuries. I think some people expect us to light our house with oil lamps and wash our laundry by hand. And don't get me started on the people who want us to wash all of our dishes by hand. Off-grid living does not mean living like a pioneer. You can absolutely go without any electricity if that's how you want to live off-grid. But you can have as many modern luxuries as you want as long as you have the power to back them up. For us, that means we have solar panels and battery storage, so we can run everything from a fridge and a mini split for air conditioning to a microwave. And of course, our dishwasher that we couldn't live without.
Hey, this is not your food. Go on. Hey, go on. Why are you coming back? Go on.
When people picture off-grid living, they often imagine endless calm, slow mornings, quiet days, and no stress. And sure, we have moments like that. But living off-grid can be just as chaotic as anywhere else. Plus, you'll have new problems that you didn't have before. Things break, projects pile up, animals get into places that they shouldn't. Sometimes it feels like you're just putting one fire out after another. It is beautiful here, but peace isn't guaranteed.
I was just putting the cats away because we put them up every night, and lately, the second we put them away, like 5 minutes later, we'll go outside and they're out. And we were like, it's got to be a raccoon because usually the cats can't actually get out from the inside. Every now and then I feel like it has happened, but we're like, well, what? You know, the raccoon would have to get there the second that we put them in. And I just happened to come right back out to take a video of the moon, and there was a raccoon up there, and it was not scared of me. And I'm just standing at the cat house now. So I at least want them to be able to eat before a raccoon lets them out, because it just knows that I'm giving them food, and now it's time for it to eat, apparently. I came outside just to go to the greenhouse and see what was going on in there with the tomatoes, and there was like a million tomatoes. I could see that there was one ripe from afar, and I went over there, and what I found was a million tomatoes that were ready and a million hornworms. And now I have this giant thing that has probably like 30 hornworms in it. I'm about to give to the chickens, and Casey yelled at me that she already found 6 since I left. So they're here. It took a while for them to get here, but they're here. But the tomato plants seem okay. Still have a ton of tomatoes, so hopefully we'll get those off today. And Casey said she's gonna come out tonight with a black light and try to get the rest of them. Get the worms.
This is what I've gotten so far. This is the Green Envy tomato.
I brought a basket because there's a lot of them. They're so much bigger than
So I have dreams of having like a red tomato sauce, an orange tomato sauce, and like a green tomato sauce. Heck, you can have a yellow one. Because there's literally all those tomatoes colors. And like we have a whole bag of orange tomatoes from last year. And I always have red ones. And now I need to keep a bag of green ones. Oh my God, there's so many. This has been really prolific. And like the very first one I had, I was like, oh, this is unimpressive. But then the next one I had tasted like candy almost. I actually really like the flavor of green tomatoes. Like ones that are supposed to be green, not before they're ready. Yeah.
It's hard because you can't see very well when they're ripe, but I can tell that
They start to kind of turn yellow.
Yeah.
A little bit.
There's one right there I can't get to it. I don't know if it's ripe. They look like grapes.
Yeah.
A lot of people think living off-grid means you grow all of your own food, never go to the doctor, and never buy fuel. And while most of us move off grid to be more self-sufficient, the idea of being 100% self-sufficient is just that, an idea. When you're off grid, you still rely on your community and modern resources. True independence isn't about doing everything alone. It's about knowing what you can do yourself and getting help when it makes sense.
Let's show me the hornworm. 1 pound, 9.3 ounces.
Wow. So over 1.5 pounds.
Off-grid isn't a lifestyle, it's just a technical detail. All over the internet, people romanticize it, debate it, or try to define it. But the truth is that all off-grid means is that you provide your own electricity. That's it. The quality of your life off-grid has nothing to do with how you get power, and everything to do with what you prioritize, how you problem solve, and the way you choose to live each day. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you next week.